I didn't think I was going to get through with that last Wrong Turn movie, but I'm so glad I did. Yes! Okay. Yes, the antidote! Whew. All right. Okay. All right, Jigsaw. I completed I've completed your game. Let me go. I've done everything you asked.
Hello, Bert, and congratulations for still being alive. I hope you enjoyed your trip through the hills of West Virginia, but I sincerely doubt that you did. I am proud of what you've completed so far, so I am going to give you an early way out from this current trap that you're in.
Please, I'll do anything. I'm getting freaked out. Just let me go. What do I have to do?
We will see about that. To your right, there's a jar. In that jar is acid. At the bottom of the acid is a key, which will unlock the shackles that you have on right now.
Okay.
Reach on in, Bert. Grab the key to salvation, but be careful. It's not like bathwater.
Okay. Here we go. Dude! Oh, that's hot! Dick gum! Okay. Come on, you can do this! Come on! Wait a minute. This is water! There's no key in here! You bastard! Let me go! This ain't a game!
That's where you're mistaken, Bert. This is a game, and you didn't think I would make it that easy for you, did you? I just thought it would be amusing to get your hands all wet so you can really feel the environment of this next flick you'll be watching. Of course, in this next movie, you're going to be taking a trip to the Bahamas, but you're going to be doing so with Michael Caine, because you're going to be watching Jaws: The Revenge. So be sure to pack your bathing suit and some sunscreen.
Let's get this over with.
What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Reel Hunting. What we have for the good reels, so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad. The Brett Man's right over here. We've reached part 3 of our Saw review series, and we're going to be reviewing Saw 3. If you haven't seen our first 2 reviews, we'll pop a link to those over Brett's head over there. We're going to be reviewing the rest of these before Spiral comes out, and then we're going to rank after that, so it's going to be a great time. So thanks for being a part of this journey. Let's get into this thing. Brett, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. I'm ready to play another game with my boy Brad on another strong entry in the Saw franchise. Even though it does have some frustrations, and trust me, you're going to hear those damn frustrations. I think we all know what we're talking about for a certain individual, so I'm ready to get started.
Well, let's rock and roll with it, man. Hit us with it.
All right, let's go with the cast, baby. So, of course, we're going to include Tobin Bell as John Kramer and one Mr. Jigsaw. We got Shawnee Smith coming back for the 3rd time as Amanda. And then we got Angus McFadden. And then we got, I'm going to butcher this name so bad, Bahir Smooky. And it's directed by Darren Lynn Bousman. Coming back from the Saw 2.
Absolutely. And it's a good time. So it's about a nurse, or rather a doctor from the hospital that gets kidnapped by Amanda to come over there and help keep Jigsaw alive. That's the goal this time because he's dying now. He's very far into his cancer. And they just need a little bit of assistance. She's got to stay alive. He's got to stay alive. If he dies, she dies. If she dies, he probably dies. It's all a shit show. It's a good time. And then running parallel to that is Jeff. His name is Jeff. And
yeah, man, that's Hefe.
And he's trying to find the product. And that's what he's doing out there. And we'll get into it. We're going to have a good time.
Before we go into this movie review, this will be a spoiler. So if you have not seen Saw 3, head over to HBO Max, or if you have even a physical media copy of it, watch that movie, come right back onto this channel so you can hear our thoughts about Saw 3. So Brad, let the game begin.
let's talk about it. Okay, so right off the bat, what I like about this thing, again, is Tobin Bell. He's got a main part of the story. He does a great job. We learn a little bit more about his backstory. That's one of my favorite things from this thing, obviously. And we also get the introduction of Dr. Len Demlin, who I thought she did a great job in this movie as well. She was a good character. I thought she was awesome. And Amanda's performance is definitely improved in this as well. So she's obviously a large part of this story as well, probably even larger than she was in the second one. And she does a good job. And I think just the dynamic of those three was fantastic. Just those are some of my biggest positives.
Yeah, I agree with that. For Lynn the Nurse, first off, I'm not sure if I'm like the only one that noticed. Like, I really think she's very, very attractive. I don't know, like I'm just, I guess I'm that guy. But no, other than that, I really enjoyed her character. You can understand like all the depression that she's going through throughout this entire film. Well, hell, she's got even that freaking shotgun collar on her, which I thought that was really cool.
And in the video game, that thing was a pain in the ass, but that's beside the point.
Yeah. Oh, god damn. The game. But yeah, I agree with you. To me, this is Amanda's best role out of the three movies we've seen in her so far. This is, to me, her best one yet. And of course, Tobin Bell, the freaking legend, one of the goats of the horror genre. Just another great, like, more detail into his backstory and all that. And we even got to see a glimpse of his very beautiful wife, or just girl. But of course, we know later on is his wife. What you said from the Saw 2, Brett, about there being a lot of characters, like too many characters, to me, I feel like they've reduced it down more and focus on the key characters, like with Jeff and Lynn and John Kramer and Amanda. I think
Totally.
4 is plenty. So I thought they did a really good job with that. And of course, I want to throw a quick character shout out real quick to one Mr. Detective Hoffman. Makes his debut in this movie too, and we will be talking more about him as this series goes on.
All he had to do was release himself from these chains and walk out the front door. Yeah, he did it. He had a pretty good moment in this. I liked him. Carrie's back, of course. She had a good time. I wouldn't say she had a good time, but it was nice to see her. It was nice to see her come back. That was the first 30 minutes or so of this movie. I thought it's pretty cool. It kind of carries over as a nice sequel to Saw 2. You get the opening with Detective Matthews in the bathroom again, and that scene's badass, because like you see him looking around and you see freaking Dr. Gordon's foot over there, and you see Adam decomposed over here, and it's just it's awesome. And just the look on his face, and what am I gonna do? And he's like, I'm not playing games, and he just freaking smashes his damn foot in with his toilet lid.
Yeah, like what we said from the Saw 2 one, like with the whole eye thing, like to ask you that question of, can you actually do it? And like, can you actually saw off your foot? And obviously with Detective Matthews, he's like, no, I can't saw off my foot. I'm just going to do the next best thing and just beat the living hell out of my foot, which you get the nice, like, little sound effects every time he makes a collision with. Oh, dude. Yeah, cringy. So that's a positive, man.
Yeah, for sure. I like, and that's more of what I like about Detective Matthews' character is his ability. Like, he just doesn't give a shit. Like, he's going to do what he's got to do. And he's just like, yeah, you can't trap my foot in here. No way. I'm going to beat the shit out of it. And like I said, or like you said, the effects are fantastic when he's smashing his foot. This is actually, I think, probably the last Saw movie where the effects were very good. Like, I mean, they have good effects after this, but they use a lot more CGI after this one with blood and stuff. This one, the effects in this one throughout are fantastic, I thought. Starting with that opening scene where he smashes the shit out of his foot. There's freaking blood there, and it was great. And then his foot, dude, his little prosthetic there. Oh, it's gross, man. It was gross. It was awesome though.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got another positive?
Yeah, I was gonna say more so in that first little 30 minutes. I like that scene where Carrie is the closet cam scene, essentially, where she's sitting in her bedroom. Yeah, I've always thought that was pretty creepy. And she sees the camera come on her TV of her like looking at her essentially and through her closet, and she goes up in there and she gets and
shoots the damn door, which is like what every normal detective I would assume would do. It's like, oh, there's somebody in that doorway. Bam, 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 bam. Like, I thought that was really smart. And then, of course, we get tricked like always. And then the pig comes from behind and kidnaps her.
Totally, yeah. It was very logic based, and I thought it was Yeah, it was a good scene. I've always thought that was pretty creepy. Just a nice little suspense moment, and we don't see a lot of that after this movie, so I thought that was good.
Hmm. Yeah, and I thought some of the traps in this movie were also like some of the traps in this movie were really good. Like the what Carrie's trap with the whole I think
The
it's
old
called
rib
the
buster,
angel.
dude.
Yeah, the angel trap. I think is what it's called.
Okay.
I think that's what it's called. Correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong on that. Because to me, like with the whole like light at the above, and then like her getting like ribs,
Yeah.
like kind of
yeah.
like a wing. Like to me, that's what makes sense about it.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed that trap. I enjoyed my favorite trap, which that's already going to be a spoiler for the end segment. The freaking rack trap, which is Jigsaw's favorite trap, by the way.
My personal favorite.
Yeah, that was just a twisted trap indeed. That's all I can say about it. Very
Oh
twisted.
my gosh.
But no, some of the
boy.
traps are good. If in the negative section, some of the other traps not as good. But yeah, it's 50-50 on the traps for me.
100%. Yeah. Some of them, like you said, those two were fantastic. But then you get into like the weird one where the chick's freezing and then he's got to reach. Like, what the heck? What if his arm was short and he couldn't reach it? Or what if his arm was long and it wasn't like that just took a little bit. And the weird trap with the lawyer was weird, or the judge, like with the pig guts. I'm like, what the heck is all this? But anyway, we'll get into that. A couple other things I liked about this one is so this is the first time, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first time, and they do this a few times after this, but this is the first time in the franchise where you have your protagonist running through, at least one of the protagonists, running through trap after trap after trap, where he has to decide if he's going to save somebody or not. And obviously you see that.
That's correct.
Yeah, you see that in part 4, you see that in part 6, and in part 7 as well. You see that a lot after this, but I thought in this one it was actually done pretty effectively, where you have, and I wouldn't say innocent people in these traps, but you have people who aren't the main subject of the game in these traps, and your protagonist has to save them. With this particular one, it made a lot of sense to do that because they were all involved with Jeff's his son dying. They were all involved with that incident. So I thought that was kind of clever, and I thought that was pretty interesting. And it's effective in this one.
Yeah, so you can really feel for Jeff when he's making those decisions too, like whether they live or die and all that. Like I feel for him because I couldn't even put myself in his shoes. Like, can I really take somebody's life even though they're responsible for my own child's death? Like that again. That's another great concept to throw in our head.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good concept, and they do this kind of concept throughout the franchise after, but I don't think it's ever as effective as it is here, because after this point they're really not as involved in the overall story of the protagonist.
Yeah, they're just mainly focused on the trap.
Exactly. Yeah. So I thought that was good. I also like the little flashback to the first movie where it shows Amanda helping Jigsaw put Adam in the tub and everything like that. I thought that was a nice little flashback, and it plays the music there, and Jigsaw's like, "Oh, this will slow down my heart rate." And I always thought that was cool. That was back. I remember when I was trying to speculate the ending of before Jigsaw came out. I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, Dr. Lawrence, he's already in on this. He's going to take one for the team and cut his foot off." But he's already going to be in on this thing. And of course, that's not exactly what happened, but at least not at that point. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that was cool. I like that. Nice. Yeah, it's always nice going back to the bathroom.
Yeah, always nice going back to that bathroom, especially just like reliving from the first Saw movie. Another positive for me is just the interaction between Amanda and John Kramer, kind of like the master and apprentice role. I really like their interactions between each other. We get more backstory on Amanda of why she worships John and for everything in his teachings. Even though she's still not the cleanest person after her reverse bear trap incident, we see that she's actually sets out the traps that are not possible to overcome. Kind of like how Jigsaw's traps, like once you overcome them, you're free. But Amanda says, yeah, you can overcome them, but I'm still going to kill you. Like, because she killed Carrie. She killed that guy at the beginning of the movie with the whole chains attached and all that, where the door is sealed shut. And she also we also got to know how Adam died. She killed Adam, which, if I'll be honest with you, like if I were in Adam's situation, I would want Amanda to do to me what she did to Adam. So I'm just not suffering. So just in my suffering and all that. I know that's a little bit of a dark thought, but anyways,
I think I've always kind of I think she was kind of honestly in that situation. I think she was doing him a solid.
Yeah,
I mean,
a major solid.
yeah,
Even though she kind of like screwed Adam too in the first place with putting the key in the bathtub and all that, where the key goes down the drain hole. Yeah, that was just I like that side of Amanda's character. Like she's conflicted and all that, and she does a really great, solid performance in this movie.
yeah, for sure. And the last thing I have on the positive side is the ending. Another solid ending in this franchise, and this one is fantastic. It's one. Now, I will say, not even when I first watched this movie the first time, I thought they were going to be married, just the way, like Jeff and Lynn Dimlin. I was like, with the way some of this stuff was playing out, like I just, I didn't. That part to me wasn't a huge surprise, but the fact that Amanda was the subject of the test here, that was a pretty nice twist, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then the second game of Jeff too. Because he completed the first game, but then the second game was to save his daughter. And that's kind of like the real true test of Jeff in this movie, is if he can learn to forgive and let go the anger, which obviously he didn't, because he killed Jigsaw.
I'm the only one who knows where your daughter is.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's great stuff. And then of course we got to see the shotgun collar kill in the major brutal effect, which that look after the shots went off. Oh, dude, like it looked really good.
It did, man. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, man, that's it for me on the positive side.
Yeah, so you want to just jump in right onto the negatives?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's go with the big negative for me. Jeff's slow ass.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude! Like he's like one of the most frustrating people I've ever seen in a horror movie, because he just takes forever to make a decision. Like again, I get what they were trying to sell. Like, oh, can I actually do this? But this is the same son of a bitch that got let my kid die and all that. It just didn't help. But so I understand that, but it's just way too slow. And a lot of the traps in this movie, like the other half of the traps I was mentioning earlier, like with the girl freezing and the judge getting the pig slaughter, those are the same. Those are just the easiest traps to do. Like, cause I'm willing to take part of my face off to save the girl and the judge
off.
Exactly, a good movie, which I can't wait to see later on. But just those traps were just so easy. I would say probably the trap that I can understand is the last one with the twisted one and grabbing the key and the shotgun and all that. But he obviously wasn't character. He goes, "Hey, Judge, heads up!" Bam. So Jeff was just so damn frustrating. It's just a frustrating character.
Yeah, I wasn't much of a fan of Jeff, honestly. I didn't think I never really bought the performance in this. Like he never really sold it for me of being a vengeful father. Like it just I was always kind of bored when his stories came on and he was going through his traps. I was always way more interested in what was going on with Jigsaw and Dr. Lynn Dimlin. Yeah. But as far as Jeff goes, I never really cared. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just don't really care about his character that much. I wasn't buying it. And I probably part of it is because you don't meet him until 30 minutes into the movie, and he's just in a box and he pops out and whatnot.
And gets knocked out after he falls off the box. But I'm like, dude, if you just freaking landed correctly, you could have had that extra time, yeah,
for sure.
Frustrating.
Yeah, that and that's another thing. This thing, as much as I like the first 30 minutes or so of the movie, it takes forever for this thing to get started, man. It's just
slow second act.
Yeah, it's like it starts you got all the stuff going on in the first 30 minutes, and then the main story starts. It's like, God, come on. This is one of the longer Saw movies out there, and you feel it at times, in my opinion. I think it slows down in pacing at times. Several times throughout the story, it kind of stops and does this little flashback thing, and it's or something like that. And usually that kind of slows things down. A couple of them were nice, but then there was one where you haven't seen Detective Matthews in the whole movie, and that was another negative. After he was in the opening, which was pretty cool, he just kind of disappears for most of the movie, and then it shows a flashback of him as the freaking climax is happening at the end. I'm like, this could have happened at some other point. I just right now we're figuring shit out. Now you're gonna go take a few steps back. I never really liked the way that was done.
Yeah, and they gave him a bad scene too, where he keeps like repeating over and over again, like "You're no Jigsaw, bitch. You're no Jigsaw, bitch." Like,
You're not Jigsaw, bitch.
I was like, no, he's supposed to be a badass, not some whimpering ass. Like, even though he did get kicked in his broken damn leg or damn foot, so like he's probably selling the injury. But like, I felt like that was just a weak moment in Detective Matthews.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind that too much because he's still provoking her. He's not afraid of her at that point. He's trying to provoke her. Even at this point of his weakness, he's like, "Oh yeah, you're still nothing." So I didn't mind that. I just that scene felt misplaced to me because of where it was at. Like we're in the midst of the climax.
Yeah, they could have played that at the beginning of the movie, like when he was in that bathroom.
Yeah, for sure. And there's also times in this movie where Jeff's story is like non-existent, even after he's introduced late. Like it just goes on for some time, which is fine because I wasn't as into his story. But this is a reason why, right? Like he just goes away for like, I don't know, it seems like 20 minutes at one point, and it's just I almost forgot he was even doing traps, and then he finally shows back up again.
Right.
And then another thing was that I disliked is how fast Carrie got disposed of. I was really liking her character.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Like I feel like she is probably the most missed opportunity in this franchise, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. I thought she could have carried the franchise because we never really had a long-standing protagonist in this, and I think she would have been a good one to kind of parallel Jigsaw, and she could have stayed through several movies, I think, and she gets ripped apart in this one.
Did you see how jacked she was in that in her trap?
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, like we could have easily like treat her kind of like a final. I wouldn't. Yeah, actually, we could have actually treated her like maybe as a final girl a little bit, like just to give her some characteristics of a final girl. But yeah, great point, dude. Like that is just a major missed opportunity. And plus, I really liked her character.
I did too, man. I would have loved to at least see her come back for one or two more. If not the full franchise, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened there with that, but either way, her death was cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was pretty cool. Yeah. So, do you have any more negatives?
No, man.
Yeah, I think we pretty much tackled the big ones that just really aggravate us on that. So, before we go into our movie rating, we're going to go with best trap. So, Brad, what is the best trap in this movie?
For me, it is Carrie's angel dust maker or whatever you called it. I don't remember, but the one where I've always thought that was cool, where she's got the ribs hooked in and then the acid. I always thought that was a nice little touch. And, I don't like the fact that she couldn't have won the game, but the trap itself was pretty badass. And I gave it the slight edge over the rack just because the rack was as cool as it is. You don't really have an option of winning that game for the victim within the trap. I like the traps where you can actually get out of it, but supposedly, whatever. I thought it was cool, and it looked cool too.
Yeah, dude, it looked really cool, and that's one of my all-time favorite traps. Is the rack one, which I'm going to be honest with you. After this rewatch, I'm going to have to go with the angel trap too.
You went with the angel dust maker?
Yeah, I did. Like, I'm surprised. I'm just as surprised as you are, just because like I like the character of Carrie, Detective Carrie, better. So I was more invested into that trap, and plus the trap cinematography looked really good too. Like even though the rack one looked really good too, but I just really didn't have an attachment to that character as much. I kind of like been playing more onto like, all right, do I actually care about this character? Like the trap looks cool, but do I care about the aftermath? But with the Detective Carrie one, I extremely care about the aftermath, and that's why I'm going with the angel trap.
Hell yeah, man. I like it. Well, let's score this bad boy.
Alrighty. I'm going to go with another 4 out of 5. It's another great storytelling movie. I feel like this one really tops like the trilogy if they want to make it a trilogy. This was a good movie to end it on. Some other good traps. And then, of course, you got your negatives on it of Hefe, Jeff, and some of the other easy traps in the movie. So I'm giving this movie a 4 out of 5.
I'm going to go 3.5 on this one, but it's still going to take us to the Tosche station. Before you do your math, I can tell you that it's going to be a 3.75. And that is going to take
people
us...
love when I do my math. No, I'm just kidding. But it is an easy Tosche station to get some good old power converters.
But I was going into Tosche Station to pick up some power converters.
Yeah, hell yeah. Good times.
Absolutely. And that will end this particular game. So, guys, what did you all think about Saw 3? Did you enjoy this movie like we did for the most part? Or are the problems just too much for you and you don't like it quite as much? Let us know in that comment section down below. And let's get this discussion rolling.
And if you know what's fun to good reels, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, Snapchat, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Those links are in the description for you to find down below.
Absolutely. Be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe. And, of course, ring that bell. Ding, ding, ding. So you all know when the next game is up and ready.
And we'll see you next time for the next game, which will be very soon.
Peace, guys.